Okay, so I've been thinking about making this video for a few days now, and there was an article in the news today, and it popped up in my feed and made me, just added more fuel to my psychological fire. So here we go. Kids today. Now you'll see a lot of these memes on whatever social network you choose to use. And basically, the idea behind them is, kids today are lazy and they never go outside, and that's why we have an obesity crisis in this country. And when we were kids, we were allowed to roam the streets, and, we could do, we could be outside all the time, and our parents never had to check up on us, and we never had to have cell phones. We could just go outside and be. We didn't need all the video games and technology that kids have today. We had our imaginations. Well, you know what? Yes, when we were kids, we could go outside. When I started walking to school in kindergarten with my older brother. He was 3 years older than me. So he was 8 and I was 5, and we walked 7 blocks to school every day. By the time I was 8, we had moved to a different city, and I walked by myself 3 blocks to school every day. When I was 11, I lived a mile and a half from the middle school, and according to the school district, that was walking distance, so I lived too close for the bus. So I walked a mile and a half by myself to school every day and home at 11 years old. Yeah, when we were kids, we could do that. But you know what? You can't let your kids do that now. Not because they're wimpy or they're lazy or, they're fat or whatever. It's because you will go to jail. Don't believe me? How about this? Or this? Or this? One of these articles, the children were playing outside on their scooters. The mother was sitting in a lawn chair in the front yard she was sitting on the porch watching her kids. The neighbor, wonderful nosy neighbor, looks out, sees the kids playing outside, calls the cops. Doesn't check to see if mom's watching them or anything, just calls the cops and tells them, oh, these kids are playing outside unsupervised. Cops come, talk to the mom. The mom says, I was sitting outside the whole time. I don't see the problem. The cops were going to drop it, and the neighbor's like, oh, well, I hit this child with my car because it was playing outside unsupervised. So the cop arrests the mother. Doesn't say shit to the neighbor about not paying attention when she's driving and hitting this child with her car, which it turns out was a complete fabrication. She had not hit the child with her car. She just wanted it to look like the children were in more danger than they were. So it didn't look like she was just being a nosy bitch. And the mother was released after 18 hours and everything, and the charges were dropped. And now she's suing the shit out of them. And good. Please, sue the shit out of them. The neighbor, the cops, everybody. Because what the fuck? She was there. She was watching her kid. So now you can't even let your kids play outside. If you're watching them, you can't even sit outside with your kids and let your kids play outside at the end of a cul-de-sac because you could go to jail. You're a criminal. If you let your children play outside, you're a criminal. The one in Tennessee, she dropped her child off at she dropped her children off at the park, and they were 8 and I think 5. And then when they didn't come home, she freaked out, and she had her friend go check and see if they were still there, and she called 911 freaking out, and she was told that the children were at a neighbor's house and she lived one block from the park. The children were at a neighbor's house, waiting to be picked up by CPS, and she was going to jail. I can't even imagine that happening when I was a kid. My mom would have been so pissed. My mother would have been pissed. And I imagine this lady was fucking pissed off too. 8 and 5 is a little young to be at the park. But we walked fucking 7 blocks to school when I was 5. We walked to school every day. We came home, and my mom was a single mom, and she was in college, and the state paid for daycare for my baby brother because he was literally an infant. They didn't pay for shit for us. So we got home, and we let ourselves in. And my mom got home about 30 minutes later. And we're fine. We're fine. But if you do that shit today, you're going to jail. The last article is about a woman who let her daughter go to the park instead of sitting at work with her all day. The child would come to work with her and play on the iPad, but their home had been broken into, and the iPad was stolen, so the kid didn't want to sit up at fucking McDonald's all day. And I can understand that. Who wants to just sit in a restaurant all day with nothing to do? The point is, this park had, at any time, had upwards of 40 children there playing there every day with moms and things. Nothing is going to happen. If someone tried to take your kid starts screaming, and another parent sees it, they're going to say, hey, what the fuck? They're going to figure out what's going on. But that's not what happened. What happened was, she's out there playing, and this nosy bitch says, hey, where's your mom? She says, hey, well, my mom works, right down the road. She's at work, and I'm here playing. And she calls the cops. And the mother goes to jail. And the fucking police posted up her interrogation video, and for an hour before they took it down, left on the part that had her address, her phone number, and her social security number on the video, and posted that up on the internet. So for an hour, all her personal shit was out there. And that's just crazy to me, because now somebody could fucking find her house and be like, you're a shit mom, and we're going to come burn your house down and steal the rest of your shit, whatever. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Just the whole thing. If you want to know why kids don't fucking play outside anymore, that's why. Because it's bullshit. Because we don't have fucking time to go to jail and do all that. Especially single mothers who are working. They don't have time to go to jail, because then they'll lose their job, and then they can't support their kids, and they're going to end up on welfare, and you're going to bitch about that too. And there was the idea that, oh, well, when we were kids, we were being raised by a village. Our neighbors were watching out for us. Yeah, your neighbors are watching out now. They're watching out for when they can call the cops on you, or when they can call CPS. My kids don't go outside by themselves. My son, he's 14. He doesn't go outside by himself. You know how much time he spends alone outside? None. He doesn't go outside alone. I go outside with him. I'll go to the park with him. But he doesn't go anywhere by himself. He can't, because I don't want to go to jail. Now, when I lived in a neighborhood where there were other kids in a small town, before all this craziness started, he could go outside. But he can't go outside now because people are crazy, and they'll call the cops. And the world is not, at least if you live in a small town, the world is not as dangerous as people would have you believe. It's just there's so much more media coverage of an incident. It makes it seem much more prevalent. Kids should be able to go outside. Yes, I absolutely agree. Is it going to happen? No. So the kids are going to want to do something. Well, if they're stuck inside all day because you have other shit to do, like cleaning the house or cooking, or doing laundry, or God forbid, working, then what? They're not going to just sit inside and be bored. They're going to want to. They're going to want to play. They're going to want to do something that engages them. So yeah, they have electronics and things that entertain them. And their friends all play on the same stuff. Yeah, they're connecting with other kids. They're not unsocialized. They're connecting with other kids in other towns. And their friends that live far away. Because we don't live as close to each other as we used to. We don't have neighborhoods that are set up like they used to be, where you could just go down the street. When I was little, my best friend lived 3 houses down. And I would walk down to her house every day and play all day and then walk home. My mother worked full-time, sometimes 2 jobs, and there was nobody else to watch us. So we played outside. We played with our friends. I walked home, had my own key, let myself in after school, had a snack, went outside and played. You know, my mom came home at 5 o'clock or whatever and made dinner. And it wasn't that bad. But people, there's like 2 groups. There's the group that say, oh, kids, kids are too wimpy now. They're too soft. We shouldn't helicopter parent our kids. We should, we should let them be more free and let them toughen up, let them discover stuff on their own. And then there's the other group that says, oh my God, you can't leave. What if something happens to them? You can't leave your kid outside. You can't let your kid be on their own. You have to watch them. Something might happen. Something might happen. You have to watch them. You have to watch them every minute. Don't even leave your kid in the other room. Don't leave your kid in the living room and go take a pee. Make sure somebody's watching that kid, because something might happen. It just, oh my God, it just makes me crazy. And I know that this is probably not that interesting to everyone, but it just really annoys the shit out of me. It's fucking ridiculous. Whatever. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel. I post new videos all the time. Have a great day.